On to the battle report itself. Here you can see an overview of the initial setup of the battlefield. It's a little blurry. You can see my man-eaters are down at the bottom of the screen. I've placed them within range of my BSB, my general, according to plan, but I've put them a little bit further forward. My hope here is to try and block some of his vanguarding nuisance units like the Marauder Cav from being able to move too far forward. So this is his right flank from my perspective. You can see 2 units of the Marauder Cav with flails and 1 unit of the hounds there. He also has a Slanesh chariot there. His Chimera is hanging out with his Demon Prince. He also has his BSB centrally placed so that he can spread that bubble as far as possible. The center of his line consists of basically all of his chariots, apart from the one that was over on the right hand side. He has his Nurgle Gorbeast chariots and his Slanesh chariots. And then over on the left hand side, he's just got a couple of units of chaff. He's got 2 more units of dogs. He has his unit of Marauder Cav who have the sorcerer in there with them. On my side, I've refused my left flank. I have 2 units of cats, 2 units of bulls. I've basically gone cat, bull, and each unit is just over 6 inches from the last. Here you can see this is Mohawk taking the first turn. He won the dice off for the first turn. He's moving his Marauder Cav units around the flanks of my units, trying to get out of my charge arcs. He's trying to get obviously around to my Iron Blaster. We both know the Iron Blaster is a very important unit here. If I can use the Iron Blaster to take out his Demon Prince, the whole game is going to be an awful lot easier for me. And here we have his first turn. And actually this is into my turn as well. So on his first turn he really didn't move very far forward. He got his Marauder Cav units behind my lines, but other than that not a lot. His Demon Prince was hanging out there at the front. He's moved his Chimera behind the hill because he's deathly afraid of my poison man-eater unit there. And in his magic phase he's able to cast Acquiescence on my man-eaters. So this is a spell that basically gives them the random movement d6 rule. I tried to move them a little bit so I could still shoot at the Demon Prince, but I rolled too far and they rolled into this unit of Chaos Hounds that he's put right in front of these man-eaters. So they're forced into combat, they have no choice, and I'm not able to shoot at the Demon Prince. The reason why I'm wanting to shoot at the Demon Prince, I'm not actually hoping to hurt the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince has a 2+ ward save against fire and they have the Flaming Banner, so it really isn't going to hurt him. But what I want to do is get rid of that Charm Shield, and that's the only way my Iron Blaster is going to be able to get a shot through. Over on the other side, his chariots moved up a little bit. And his chaff units really haven't moved very far. He wants to attack my chaff units with spells, win the chaff war, and doesn't want to get into a situation where I can get one of their small units of bulls behind his lines. They may be a small unit, but they can really threaten his chariots if they get into the flank of the rear. And so in my turn, obviously my man-eaters are now in combat, and I have the shot all lined up to shoot at the Demon Prince, but he has the Charm Shield, so on a 2+, that's going to waste a shot. On the other hand, I'll get rid of the Charm Shield, but he's got all these chariots, and the chariots are really juicy targets, so I took a pot shot at the chariots. I missed. I think I double bounced it, I can't remember, or maybe I missed 5, but in any case the shot just didn't kill anything. So in my turn, obviously the man-eaters destroy the dogs, they're just ripped apart. And in his turn, he then declares a charge with that chariot into my man-eaters, hoping to leave a mess with the impact hits and so on. He's probably not expecting the chariot to survive, but he wants to soften them up. Of course, I've got guns, I can stand to shoot, so that's exactly what my man-eaters did. And so hitting on 5s, poisoning on 6s, I actually got enough hits, I think 3 poison wounds and then another conventional wound. I killed the chariot outright. So killing the chariot there was a nice bit of luck for me. That was definitely above average expected shooting, and took one complete threat out of the way. In response, my opponent then declared another charge. I don't know if he was planning to declare this charge anyway, but he declared a charge with his BSB into my man-eaters. I obviously have already declared my standard shoot reaction. I can't do it again, so he makes that charge easily and decides to maximize further away from my main Death Star so I can't see him. And he's put another unit up against my Iron Blaster, so he's hoping to force me to reveal my flank. The Iron Blaster obviously can deal with a chaff unit as long as they charge it in the front, but if I want to shoot at his Demon Prince, I'm going to need to be pointing in that direction, so I'm going to reveal my flank. In the end, I decided that I would take that chance and allow them to charge me in the flank if that meant I could get that all-important cannon shot off. I really thought about peeling off my general at this point to go and help the man-eaters. My general, decked out as he was with the other Trickster Shard and all the rest of that stuff, could definitely squish the enemy BSB quite easily, but that would leave my Death Star vulnerable to being charged by the Demon Prince. And also I really wanted to get a charge off. If I could get a charge into one of those chariots up there, then I could get into his backfield and you know, really make a mess of things. So I declared a charge. He fled with the first chariot. I declared another charge. He fled with the second chariot. At that point I can't redirect. Both chariots fled out of range, so I simply made a failed charge move in that direction. So at this point it's my magic phase, and I start out by casting a Bone Crusher spell. So this is the Ogre Kingdom's 2d6 magic missile, strength 2, no armor saves. So I rolled irresistible force, so it went off. The miscast was not too serious, still to a wound or two to my butchers. So the first thing this spell did was obviously the first hit strips off the charm shield. After that I actually rolled 2 wounds, and both of them were unsaved by his ward save. So that was a really good little spell there right off the bat. At this point his chariots are all lined up in front of his Demon Prince. His Demon Prince is out in the open. I've got a shot with the Iron Blaster, and all I need to do is get that shot to hit and then get through his ward save. So that's exactly what I did. The Iron Blaster is just out of the picture here, but I'm going to fire across there. I didn't hit the chariot, but I did manage to hit the Demon Prince. I wounded the Demon Prince. He failed his ward save. I only needed 2 wounds to do it, and I rolled a 2. So if the spell hadn't stuck 2 wounds through, I would not have killed it. So the Demon Prince was dead, and even better, the Chimera failed its panic check. It was within 6 inches. It now no longer has a general to be able to use his leadership. He is not within range of the BSB and on leadership 5, and then just fled off the table. So I got a free Chimera out of the deal as well. Over here on the other side, I've blocked in one of his Marauder units, trying to prevent them from getting out. You see that cat is positioned, and it's done in such a way that he can't quite fit on either side without coming within an inch of either of those units. My man-eaters got mauled by the BSB. They did a wound in return, and the next turn they did that final last wound. The BSB's only got 2 wounds, so he died to the man-eaters. I believe he killed another man-eater before he popped his clogs. Over on the left flank, these guys have actually been holding up very well. They've taken a number of spells from the Sorcerer, and they've been charged in the flank by Chaos Hounds. They managed to win, reform, and kill the Chaos Hounds off. So they've been holding down that left flank against the Sorcerer and the Marauders very well. Over on this side, I actually at this point pulled my Death Star back a little bit. He's lost his general, already up by a bunch of points between the general and the BSB. He has the choice, either he's going to run away or he's going to try and move forward. So I actually pulled back a little bit so I can regroup. So there's the last 2 surviving man-eaters there, and then my Mournfang have turned around to face the enemy. So he is bringing forward. He's got a Marauder Cav unit still knocking around in my backfield. It's a very irritating unit, really slippery. So he's brought his chariots forward. He's trying to get, you know, a catastrophic multiple charge with the chariots off and try and break me. He is close enough that I can declare a charge. I need to roll well to get in. If I fail it, then he's going to be able to get a multiple charge with all his chariots off. At this point, I don't really mind that much. I have the Stubborn Crown. No matter how many wounds he does, I am not going to break, and my characters will be able to clobber those chariots quite easily. So my Death Star and my Man-Eaters made it into the first two chariots, destroyed them easily, and then overran into the second pair of chariots. His Marauder Cav unit finally made it into the flank of my Iron Blaster, and this is not looking good for the Iron Blaster. It's out of general BSB range. He had one more chariot on top of that hill there, which he charged into the Mournfang. He did a bunch of wounds between impact hits and the two chariots' attacks, but he wasn't able to do enough wounds to bring him below the magic 3 number to stop him from being steadfast, so they easily passed their steadfast break check. Over here, the Marauders did actually break the Iron Blaster. They did not catch him when he fled away, and then they ran into the Man-Eaters, which obviously just killed them straight away. And then here we go, the very last move. The Death Star crashes into one of the chariots. The General steps up, smashes that. The Mournfang take care of the other chariot, and that's pretty much it for the game. There's only a small unit of Marauder Cav with a Sorcerer running around. I've got well over 1,500 victory points up on him, so that is a 20-0 victory to me. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my battle report. Thanks for listening. Take care.